The topic we have today is the Nature Society of your university is organizing a Nature Week. As members of the society, discuss and decide the best activity for this week. So as candidate A, my point is that during the Nature Week, we should organize a tree planting activity. As we all know, nowadays there are many environmental problems such as haze and air pollution. And organizations and universities, we plan to do this Nature Week as one of the ways to educate people about the importance of nature, especially nowadays when there are a lot of environmental problems. So my point, which is that they should organize a tree planting activity so that students can join together hand in hand to show their support. And also besides that, when more trees are planted, the amount of oxygen in the air will naturally increase. This will provide a better air index around the environment. Indirectly, it will cause a healthier environment. Besides that, it will also help students to fully grasp the importance of nature and show their support for the benefit of the environment. As we all know that the environmental problems are not just caused by an individual body. Each one of us play a part to ensure that our environment is at its best level. People may think planting one tree does not make a huge difference, but imagine if there's one person planting one tree in the world and everybody follows through. It will indirectly contribute to a more healthier environment. Therefore, based on these points, I believe that by organizing a tree planting activity, it is the best activity to be carried out during the Nature Week. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are now talking about the topic, the best activity for the Nature Week, which will be held by the university. As candidate B, I will suggest to organize a trip to the national park. First, we need to think of the participants for this activity. Most of them are university students. They are majority city folks, which is they have not much chance to experience about the nature or the forest. So when we have a trip to national park, they can actually have a close contact to the nature environment. They will know further about the forest species or even the fauna that living in the forest. Therefore, they will indirectly instill the love to the nature among the students, because when they know further about something, they will have more aware of the life being of the life of the forest, and this will lead to the better understanding about the importance of having national park. And this actually meet the aim of the Nature Week, which is instill the loving to the nature for the participants. And another thing is we need to think about the cost. Having a trip can be a one-day trip, and this won't cost much for the participants, and it is ideal for especially students which have low economic ability. Therefore, with the points given above, I believe that organizing a trip to national park is the best activity for Nature Week in university. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. So the topic that has been given to us today is the Nature Society of your university is organizing a Nature Week. As members of the society, discuss and decide the best activity for the week. So as the participants see, my suggestion is by organizing a camping trip to a forest. By doing a camping trip to a forest, we will sleep in the forest, so we're like living in the embracement of the mother of the earth. So by doing this, we will indirectly appreciate the ember of the nature. So by doing this, we'll think twice if we want to do some pollution or something that can harm our nature. So I give you an example. When we are having trips to the forest, we'll know the importance of oxygen, and so on, because oxygen is very important for us because it is a need for us human to live. So when we know the importance of the forest and also protecting our nature, we'll directly know that we cannot throw rubbish anywhere or like to do something that will harm our nature. So not only that, by organizing a camping trip to a forest, we can strengthen the bonding between the students. This is because by having a camping at the forest, we need to build the camp and we need to cook. So these activities need teamwork to be done. Then, not only that, this activity by doing a camping trip to a forest will also let the student learn about how to survive in wildlife, and they will know about a little bit about survival skills. Like let's say they were lost in the forest, someday they'll know on how to save or rescue themselves. So that's all from me, thank you. Grr.
Cut and then test you wanna start or what?
Straight lah.
Sure, we'll start. 7 minutes 30 seconds.
You wanna start? Which one you think the best one? I think Picas one is the best. Yeah. Okay.
So I will speak to my friend just because the cost lah. Okay, so for you is because the hands-on activity.
Wait, so now we are all supporting our points first, right?
Yeah, because
Yes,
I'm the track until
exactly.
7 minutes 30 seconds.
I will conclude that.
Okay.
You conclude lah.
Okay, let's begin with our discussion for the topic today, which is the best activity for the Nature Week of Nature Society for the university. So as candidate B, I will still stick to my point, which is organizing a trip to the national park. It's because having a trip to a national park can save our budget and the fee going to this trip will be low. This will attract more students to take part in this activity, and more participants will be involved. By this, the Nature Society can have a better arrangement for the activity in the trip, and for students, they can experience well-arranged trip and have a better understanding about the importance of national park.
Yes, I do agree with your point, candidate B, but then I only agree partially. It's because when we go to a national park, yes, you get to see the environment there, but it's literally just a once in a lifetime experience. You just go there and look at the surroundings, but you don't really do any hands-on activities. And other than that, I still stick with my point, which is by organizing a tree planting activity, because I believe that is the only activity that allows us to get down on our hands and feet and truly understand Mother Nature, and also we are indirectly showing our support and our way to contribute back to nature. But when we go and visit the national park, we just go there to visit and look around, but we don't do anything to contribute back to nature.
Thank you, candidate A and candidate B. Your guys' points is very good, but I'm going to stick to my point, which is organizing a camping trip to a forest is the best activity for the week. This is because if like what candidate B have said, that he said that going to national park is the best activity, but I'm not agree with it. This is because we want the aim of our activity is to gain the positive or the positive impact after the program. If you go to the national park, it will only be a memory that will be remembered just in a short while. But by having a camping trip to a forest, we are not just going to like know a lot about the importance of the Mother Earth, but we also can strengthen the bond between our friends and also the students, and we also can learn about the survival skills.
Yes, as for me, rather I would wholly agree on candidate C's point, which is that we should organize a camping trip to the forest, because like I said, I'm sure that the participants would prefer a hands-on activity. And when we go for camping in the forest, other than being there, I feel that it's the best way to place ourselves in Mother Nature's embrace. So rather than being there and being together with the environment, I'm sure that we can also organize activities during the camping itself to get our hands-on activity to contribute back to the environment.
Okay, so with the explanations that have been given by candidate C and candidate A, I agree with the point that organizing a camping trip to a forest, because having a one-day trip is for sure not enough for the student to know well about the forest, and they need more time to experience how wonder the nature is and how important it is to us. For example, if they are sleeping in the forest, when they wake up during the next morning, they will feel refreshed, and this is how wonder the nature is. They won't experience this in their city or their uni lifestyle, because they used to sleep late and wake up late in the morning, and they won't have the experience to enjoy the chilling cool river water or the refreshing fresh air in the morning.
Adding on to what you said, like you said that only the city folks, mostly people in the university are city folks, so they like going to the national park was the best before, right? But I believe that even the national park is like in the city, and even though it's a national park filled with plants and everything, I believe it's better to still go to the forest because it's fully covered with plants, and it's just the environment over there.
Yes.
I agree with candidate A, so I want to add on something about the candidate B's point about by organizing a camping trip to a forest. He said that if we having a camping trip in the forest, when the student wake up in the morning, they will feel refreshed, and when they feel refreshed when they wake up, they will think about the importance of protecting our nature, Mother Nature, and this indirectly they will think that they have to protect the nature. They will like protect our nature so that there is no pollution, so that we can breathe more oxygen and will live more healthy.
That is what I'm saying just now, which is I will agree with your point more than my point, is because they have more time to experience about the forest rather than just going a one-day trip at the national park. In national park, of course, they can see a lot of wild animals or rare species of flora in the national park, but they won't have the chance to know more about it. Even though they have a tour guide there, their time is limited. It's just one day trip. Therefore, if they go camping there, they can actually see, they can spend time to look at the interaction between the flora and fauna in the forest, and they know that the world should be like that if we develop well, and we shouldn't do pollution on the forest, which is the main producer of oxygen to us.
Besides that, I also feel that having the camping trip to the forest, right? It's because it's a experience that we all share together, and going there together, when we look at the forest, it will provide us with a different feeling entirely, rather than, for example, the national park. Even though it's a forest, it is technically already been disturbed by man-made activities or anything like that. But the forest here is just preserved only for environmental or research purposes, something like that.
Yes, I really agree with what participant A have said.
So I believe we can conclude now.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, based on our discussion, I believe we all stand on the same page to say that planning a camping trip to the forest is the best activity that can be carried out in the Nature Week, because not only does it provide a hands-on experience, but also allows the participants to show their support and contribute back to the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.